7th of November 2021, Madhuban, Avyakt BapDada, Om Shanti, revised 19th of November 1989. The Murli's title is The Fortune of Body, Mind, Wealth and People, means relationships. Today, the true Lord is seeing his prince and princesses. The Father is called the Truth. This is why the age established by BapDada is called Satyug, the age of truth. The Father's praise is the true Father, the true teacher and the true Guru, means Satguru. The praise of truth has always been elevated. All of you are listening to the true story from the true Father in order to become true Narayan. The true Lord is looking at his children to see how many children have pleased the true Lord. The greatest speciality of the true Lord is that he is the bestower of fortune and the bestower of blessings. The sign of children remaining constantly content is that the bestower is always pleased, and this is why such souls always experience themselves to be full of the treasures of knowledge, the treasures of powers, the treasures of virtues, and all treasures. They would never consider themselves to be empty of the treasures. They would never be deprived of any virtues, powers, or deep secrets of knowledge. They might have a percentage in terms of virtues and powers, but it wouldn't be possible for such souls not to have any virtue or power. According to the time, some children say, I have all other powers, but I don't have this particular power or virtue. So the words don't have would be forbidden to them. Such children of the bestower would always be wealthy, that is, they would be full and overflowing. The other praise is of being Bhagya Vidhata, means bestower of fortune. The sign of pleasing the bestower of fortune is that a star of fortune would always be sparkling on each forehead of those children who are master bestowers of fortune. That is, a spiritual sparkle would always be visible on their faces and in their forms. In their forms, you would always see the features of someone who is constantly happy, and on their face, you would always experience a spiritual character. This is called a star of fortune sparkling on their forehead. They will experience their fortune in all four aspects: body, mind, wealth, and relationships. They would not lack any aspect of fortune. It would not be that they say, I experience the fortune of the three things, but not of one. The fortune of the body, the karmic accounts of their bodies would never be experienced as an obstacle in their attainment or on the path of effort. Their bodies would never allow them to be deprived of doing service. Even at a time of suffering due to karma, such fortunate souls will become instruments in one form of service or another. They would move along, means chalayenge, with the suffering of their karma, but would never cry out, means chillayenge, due to the suffering of their karma. To cry out means to speak of the suffering of karma again and again, or repeatedly draw your intellect and time to suffering of karma. To make a huge expansion of a tiny thing is known as crying out, and to finish a big thing with the essence of knowledge is known as moving along. So always remember this: for a yogi life, whether something is a little suffering of karma or even a big suffering, do not speak about it. Do not go into the expansion of the story of the suffering of karma, because when you speak about it, your time and energy go into that, and you therefore become health conscious, not soul conscious. Health conscious gradually makes you nervous and takes away your spiritual energy. Therefore, don't speak about it too much. A yogi life means to transform the suffering of karma, means karma bhog, into yoga, and action means karma yoga. These are the signs of the fortune of the body. Fortune of the mind. The mind would always be cheerful, because the sign of experiencing fortune is to be cheerful. Those who are full are always smiling in their minds. Those who are fortunate with their minds would always have the stage of being ignorant of any desires. Because of having pleased the bestower of fortune, and because of experiencing themselves to be full of all attainments, their minds would not be attached or subservient to people or to things. In essence, this is called Man Manabhav. It would not take any effort to connect your mind to the Father. Instead, the mind would easily remain in the world of the Father's love. To experience belonging to the one Father and none other, it's said to be the fortune of the mind. Fortune of wealth. You have the wealth of knowledge, but physical wealth is also important. To have the fortune of wealth does not mean that you will become one with hundreds of thousands, or that you would become a millionaire in your Brahmin life. However, the sign of having the fortune of wealth is that in this confluence age, however much you Brahmin souls need in order to be able to eat, drink, and live comfortably, you will receive that accordingly. Along with that, you also need money to do service. So, at the time of doing service too, neither would you ever experience any lack, nor would you have to struggle at the time of need. No matter how or from where, at the time of doing service, the Father, the bestower of fortune, will definitely make someone or other an instrument. One who has the fortune of wealth would never do service with any desire of earning a name or receiving honor. If there is any desire for name or fame, then at such a time the bestower of fortune would not enable you to receive cooperation. There is the difference of day and night between a need and a desire. If there is a true need and your mind is also true, then in any service the task will be successful, and the donation box means bhandara will become overflowing, and there will be extra remaining. This is why it is sung, the treasure store means bhandara, and the kitchen means bhandari of Shiv is always full. So the sign of those who have true hearts and of the true Lord being pleased is that the bhandara and bhandari will both be full. This is a sign of having the fortune of wealth. There is a lot of expansion, but Baba is only telling you the essence of it. Fourth, the fortune of people's relationships. People means the Brahmin family and your Laukic family. Souls who come into Laukic relationships and Alaukic relationships. So the first sign of being fortunate with people and relationships is that souls who have this fortune will always continue to receive love and cooperation from people. They will definitely experience attaining something from at least 95% of souls. You were told earlier too that 5% of karmic accounts with souls are still to be settled. This is why you sometimes receive love from them and sometimes you are tested by them. However, let it not be more than 5%. Gradually continue to settle your accounts with such souls with good wishes and pure feelings. When the accounts are settled, the books will finish. Then no more karmic accounts will remain. So the sign of a fortunate soul is that he will easily continue to settle his karmic accounts that remain in terms of relationships and will constantly experience love and cooperation from 95% of souls. Souls who have the fortune of relationships will remain constantly happy when forming connections and relationships with people. They will not have questions but will remain happy hearted. Why is this one doing this or saying this? The situation should not be like this. It should be like this. Those who have such questions arising in their hearts are said to be those with questions in their hearts, and those who have questions can never remain happy. They always have a queue of questions in their hearts. This is why their time is spent finishing that question. Why means in Hindi for why Q. These questions are such that even if you want to drop them, you cannot, and you have to give your time to them. This is because you are the creator of that queue. Since you have created the creation, you have to sustain it too. You cannot avoid giving that sustenance. No matter how much you avoid it, you are compelled to give your time and energy to it. Therefore, control this creation of West. Practice this birth control. Do you understand? Do you have the courage to do this? People say this is a special gift from God. It is not my mistake. Similarly, Brahmin souls say it is recorded in the Brahma. However, became a master creator, a master knowledgeful about the drama, and continue to make every action elevated. Acha. Did the teachers hear this? You heard the significance of how much the true Lord is pleased with you. Did you not? Did all you teachers become Rajyukta, means those who understands all secrets by listening to the secrets, or do you feel in your hearts that you lack a particular type of fortune? You do not experience your life to be a life of struggle, sometimes in terms of wealth or sometimes in terms of relationships, do you? You were told that there is one slogan for the instrument teachers, but in fact it is for everyone in every situation. According to the Father Srimad, continue to say Ji Huzur means yes my Lord. When children say Ji Huzur to the Father says Huzur Hazir, means the Lord is present, and he becomes present. When the Lord is present, nothing is lacking, and you became full for all time. The star of fortune of having attained both the bestower and the bestower of fortune will begin to sparkle on your forehead. According to the drama, you teachers have received a lot of fortune throughout the day, apart from the Father and doing service. What else do you have to do? This is your only business. Householders have to fulfill so many responsibilities, whereas you people have just one task to do. You are free birds in many situations. Do you understand your fortune? You don't create golden cages or diamond studded cages, do you? You yourselves create them, and you yourselves get trapped in them. The Father made you a free bird, a flying bird. You are very, very, very lucky. Do you understand? Each one of you has definitely received the speciality of fortune. The speciality of householders is their own. The speciality of teachers is their own. And the speciality of those who run a Gita Pathshala is their own. All of you are special souls with your different specialities. However, the instrument teachers who live at the centers have a very good chance. Acha, To the experienced souls who constantly experience all types of fortune, to the elevated souls who have a right to the Father's help by always saying Ji Huzur at every step, to the children who remain constantly happy instead of always asking questions, to such yogi souls who are worthy of praise, BapDada's love, remembrance and namaste. The spiritual children says namaste and good morning to the spiritual father. BapDada speaking to the Punjab, Haryana and Himachal groups. Do all of you consider yourselves to be Mahavirs and Mahavirnis? You are Mahavirs, but you are always Mahavirs? Or are you sometimes a Mahavir and sometimes a little weak? Always to be a Mahavir means always to be a lighthouse and mighthouse. Knowledge is light and yoga is might. So a Mahavir means a Jnani and yogi soul. Knowledge and yoga be filled with the light and might of both of these powers. This is called being a Mahavir. Under no circumstances must you lack knowledge, that is a lack of light, nor should might, that is yoga, be lacking. If even one is lacking, you won't be able to pass those circumstances in a second. It will take you time. You will pass, but if you don't pass on time, then what have you passed? In a worldly education too, if you fail any one subject, you have to study in that class for the whole year again. If you pass after 1 year, then that is time gone by, is it not? In the same way, those who are not Jnani and yogi souls, that is those who are not embodiments of light and might, take time to pass any situation. If you develop the sanskars of not passing on time, then those sanskars will not allow you to pass fully at the final moments too. So you would be those who pass but not those who pass on time. Those who always pass fully on time are said to be those who pass with honors. To pass with honors means that even Dharamraj will honor that soul. There won't be punishment for that soul even in the land of Dharamraj. It will be remembered that that soul passed with honor. In order to pass with honors, do not allow yourselves to lack any sanskars, natures, virtues or powers in any situation. To become full in all situations means to pass with honors. So, have all of you become like that, or are you becoming that? We are becoming that. This is why destruction is still waiting to happen. You have stopped it before the destruction of the world, that is before the transformation. There has to be the destruction of the weaknesses of Brahmins. If the weaknesses of Brahmins are not destroyed, how can the destruction, that is the transformation of the world, take place? So you Brahmins are images of support for transformation. Let those from Punjab, Haryana and Himachal be ready first. You who are to bring about the final are not ready, and this is why the terrorists have become ready. So are all of you those who will claim the first number, or will you be content with whatever you receive? You don't think that you are better than many others, do you? You are better anyway, but you have to become the best of all. You have become the handful out of multi-millions, but that is not a big thing for you to have to become the selected few of the handful. This is why you always have to be ever ready. You mustn't be ready at the end. To be ever ready means to be always ready. If you say that you are becoming that, you are not making intense effort. The Father's vision first fell on Punjab, did it not? Since the Father's vision first fell on you, you have to claim the first number. You are those of the foundation. The foundation is always strong. If the foundation is weak, the whole building becomes weak. So always remember the blessing that in every situation you are those who will pass with honors. The method for this is to remain ever ready. The biggest stone of all is Madhuban, the real home of all Brahma Kumars and Kumaris is Madhuban. Is it not? The home of souls is the supreme abode, but the home of Brahmins is Madhuban. So you are not from Amritsar or Ludhiana. You are not from Punjab or Haryana. For your permanent address is Madhuban. All the rest are service places. Even if you are living at home with your family, that is also a service place and not your home. Your sweet home is Madhuban. Do you believe this? Or do you remember that home of yours means the physical home? Acha, blessing. May you have the power of accommodation and become an example of one who creates an atmosphere of unity. Explanation. The beings who are similar, who have love for the one and have a constant and stable stage, those who follow the directions of the one, who are united in their thoughts among themselves are the ones who can be threaded in the rosary. However, an atmosphere of following one direction can only be created when you have the power to accommodate. If there is the difference of opinion in any situation, then accommodate that difference, for only then will you come close with that unity and become an example for everyone. Slogan: imbibe spirituality in your every thought, word and action, and then there will be splendor in service. Om Shanti